Welcome to Indie Game Lab Studios. This week we are playing Mythika, the Olympians. We are joined by the designer himself, Andrew. Andrew, hi, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And we've got so we're playing a two-player game. The two players are some pros at this, and they're kind of already underway. This is an epic game that we're tackling today. So we wanted to get the players a little bit into it before even beforehand, so we can catch some of the exciting plays and kind of see the board fully developed. What is Mythica, the Olympians?
Yeah, so Mythica is a god game where the players take on the role of one of 13 Olympian gods. And they build the world for their followers. And the more successful they build the world, the more points they'll get, and that's how you win the game. Um, so yeah, a god game is a little bit different. It's not just god themed. Um, a god game. I don't know if you remember the old. You're probably too young. I'm aging, dating myself now. But the old video game Populous, where
Populous? No.
where you were a god and you had followers and you had to sculpt the land to create. Uh,
I played a
uh,
computer game like that called Black and White. Did you ever play that one? Yeah.
yeah,
Was that is that
yeah,
similar kind of concept? You had your
similar.
like weird like monkey creature that you sent around to like lightning bolt. Yeah, that was
Yeah, yeah.
fun.
So, like in a god game, you've got the players have supernatural powers. You build the world as you play, so you can see that there's the hex tiles here. That's a modular board that gets created as you're playing it. Um, your worshippers are the source of power for your cards. It's a card-driven game mostly, and then you don't have really um, direct control over the mortals that are on the board. You work through your high priestess and your heroes to do things like guide the people to new lands, but you don't have cards in your hand that really will let you just pick up your followers and move them on the board.
Okay, nice. That's very cool. That's very interesting. Uh, it looks like we've got a battle here between Zeus and Apollo. So spoiler alert: Zeus is gonna win, right? Zeus is king of the gods.
He does have some advantages, but they both do.
Okay.
Zeus is um, I tried to keep the mechanisms close to mythology as I could. And so Zeus was always known for all of his sons and daughters, mostly sons, that his demigods that went around the world and went on quests and got into mischief. So Zeus is geared more towards questing,
Okay.
and you see Zeus has already got one quest card there in his stack at the top of his board there. Um, well, I'm sure we'll see Zeus add more of those red board cards to the top.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Colony. So this is a quest card.
that's right, yeah. So when you pick up a quest card from the display there, that long blue board on the side of the table there,
Mm-hmm.
they'll go to the just above the god board there, and yeah, that's right. Those quest cards there. So those are available, and when you complete the quests, they flip 180 degrees, and you get the reward.
Ah, okay. So, colony. Activate your hero on a land with six of your followers and no adjacent city. Draw two city cards and choose one to add to your hero's location. There does not need to be a house symbol. And then the reward is your heroes have +1 speed. Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a nice way to get another city in play. So each of the gods has a deck of 12 starting cards, and then three cards specific to the god are added to that deck. And then any cities that you build also go into that deck. So your starting deck size is 16 cards, and you'll draw four at the end of your, or up to four at the end of your turn. You can discard as many as you like. One of those cards is build a city.
Okay.
Um,
Nice.
but you have to sort of wait for that card to come back through your deck before you can build your second city.
I
So
see.
having
Okay.
this quest allows you to sort of short circuit that and get another city out earlier.
Right.
And cities are where your populations grow at the beginning of your turn. you will add
I see them doing it right
people.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, you will add people to the hexes where the cities are. The cities are those white hexagon, um, those white hexagon tokens. Yeah,
The
that's right.
tall white hexagons. Okay. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Um,
Ooh,
and so
adding more land here now.
yeah, and each land has different characteristics. So there are 6 land types. Zeus is laying a plains land right now, and it has a population growth rate because it's very fertile of 2. So if Zeus should build a city on that plains land at the beginning of every one of his turns, he'll add 2 more followers to that land.
Okay, nice.
And I mean, it's got elements of civilization games.
Yeah.
Like a god game is like a subgenre of civilization games. But I didn't want to get down really in the weeds. I
Hmm.
want you to feel like a god in this game. So I don't want you to be so focused on things like gathering wood and sheep to
Yes.
build your city. Um, so in this game, your cities are your resources, your cities and your temples. So when you play a card like Discoveries that lets you um, learn more technologies, you will exhaust cities by flipping them over.
Okay.
So if they have the simple side up, they are good to spend, and if they're flipped over, they're exhausted, and so they won't be available for you to use until your next turn. So those are your 2 resources. The cities are powering things that are really part of the mortal world.
Hmm.
So building more temples, things like that. The temples power cards that are more like directly related to your supernatural powers. So
Okay,
things like
great.
catastrophes or sculpting the world by building more lands, things like that.
I love it. And can you sort of specialize? I mean, do you have to kind of make a sort of a balanced plan of advancing your mortal population and focusing on miracles and catastrophes, or is there a way to like kind of go one way or another and kind of ignore one aspect of it?
Yeah, there are multiple paths to victory,
Okay.
for sure. So your god might give you some hints as to the kind of direction you would play. Like Apollo is very focused on the discoveries because he's the god of knowledge,
Mm, okay.
and you can see that Apollo's already learned all of the discoveries he can in his age 1 there. Um, so
Where's the
the
discovery?
technology.
Oh, it's right here. Okay.
Yeah, it's right underneath the god board there. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. Yeah, so this is sort of like the tech tree for the game. It's simplified. I didn't want it to really become a huge part of the game,
Okay.
but so there are 4 different categories of knowledge: religion, commerce, architecture, and military. And there are 2 choices in each category per age. And you can only learn one. So if you learned cult, you wouldn't be able to learn invocation later.
Got
Um,
it.
there's one way around it. If you learn the agora, then both discoveries can be learned.
Ha. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
This is deep. This is a deep game, everybody. If you're watching this and if you like something, oh, my camera's just went out of focus. If you like something a little bit more advanced and a little bit, what were you calling this? The event game. This is not a filler game.
Yeah, it's not a filler game. It's I'm not chasing the gateway gamers
Hmm.
for sure with this game. I hope that they would like to try it
Yeah.
when they've got a few other games under their belt,
Right. Yeah.
or
Exactly.
someone who the um, knows the game as they can teach them,
Yeah.
or they're really just interested in the theme too. And
Yeah.
there
Right.
are lots of mythology lovers out there,
Yep.
and there aren't that many mythology games. There are definitely a few. Um,
Yeah. I love it. Like so. Yeah. We've got Apollo. We've got Zeus. So we've got the whole pantheon, or at least
yeah, yeah,
13 of the pantheon, like the main,
yeah.
the people that we're gonna recognize, right?
So there are 12 Olympians plus Hades, who
Oh, okay, nice.
you know, he doesn't live on Olympus, so he's not technically an Olympian. But yeah, he's the 13th god, and he is, of course, the god of the underworld.
Awesome.
And when you play him, you're sort of building your own little world to the side, not attached to the
That's so
surface
cool.
world.
Oh, I love that. So what
Yep,
is this center tile here, by the way? Is this Mount Olympus?
that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
Mount Olympus. There's no way to build a city on it unless you get something like colony, um, which is because it doesn't have a build symbol on
Oh,
it
I see. Right.
for cities. Yeah, but it has this cool spot on it that lets you, by moving one of your chosen, your high priestess or your hero, to that circle at the top.
Hmm.
Those are like worker placement slots.
Hmm.
So your two chosen, your hero and your high priestess, can go to a location and activate its ability, just like a worker placement game. But your workers are constrained spatially by how far they can move, terrain, and if there's somebody else sitting on that tile, maybe guarding it. But yeah, if you go there, it's the only tile in the game that lets you answer a prayer. And if you go up to the sort of the main board, there are some prayers that they are working towards. And these are the things, yeah, so right there, yeah. So those two cards that are right up there, these are what the mortals are praying for. And there's a deck of cards that will sort of randomize each game what the mortals are really looking for from their gods. And right
Hmm.
now they are praying for um, fertile land to grow on and for knowledge,
Okay.
more discoveries.
All right. So
And when you,
Apollo is already crushing that
yeah,
prayer, right? Okay.
yeah. And when a prayer gets tokens equal to the number of players, so in this game, when there's a second token added to it, that prayer is complete. It'll
Okay.
get discarded, a new prayer will get added. It looks like they've already finished the first prayer that was out, which was build a city, looking
Okay.
for a safe place to live. And as the ages progress, you'll get more prayers out. So
Okay.
by age 3, you'll have 4 prayers to work towards.
So that explains why knowledge isn't done already, because we saw Apollo has already gotten his four pieces of information, but maybe knowledge didn't flip until he already had three. Is
Yep.
that perhaps what's happening? Okay.
Yep. But I see that
Ooh.
they've just advanced to age 2. So the age marker there, yeah, that sundial, moves every time a major building is added to the world. So a
Okay.
new temple, a new city, or a wonder monument.
Okay. Advancing to the next age. Draw a new prayer
Yep.
card. Add it to the next space. Discard all lands from the display. Draw 6 new ones. Discard all fate cards from the display and replace them with fate cards from the new age. Events trigger.
Yep.
Sweet. So we're having a whole big thing here. So we haven't really been talking too much about the specifics of this particular game. Maybe we should talk about sort of the status of each of the gods right now. How are they doing? How are their plans unfolding? Do you see anything sort of interesting to point out so far?
Yeah, I see Zeus has got the second prayer out. Um, he needs 3 to complete the objective. There's a series of achievements that are available to all the gods to work towards.
Okay.
And Zeus has some advantages that help him complete quests more easily. His heroes move a little bit faster. They're a little bit tougher. He has ways of getting out his extra heroes more quickly,
Hmm.
which lets him complete those quests fast. Apollo is moving quickly down the knowledge track.
Okay.
Um, and I know this particular player well, and she loves to go up the tech track. She's got all 4 of the first age
Hmm.
ones completed, which means she's probably got the wise achievement. So we go back up to the center board there, the main board. We can kind of check to see
Ah, yes. There we go.
how
Wise.
they're doing. Yeah. So when you complete these objectives, you put your token down. First one there gets 3 points. Second one gets 2 points, and then everyone
Okay.
else gets 1 point for completing that. So so
Okay.
far.
Summon a hero is one of the next prayers, and defeat a creature. Sounds like Zeus is already kind of on track for those, since he's got a quest to defeat a creature too.
Yeah, and so there's the Monster Slayer. Yeah, that's that allows you to go find a creature and hopefully defeat it to
Nice.
earn its reward. You get victory points depending on how tough the creature is.
Okay.
So you'll draw two creatures and then choose one. I see Joe's doing that right now.
Oh, Cerberus, Hydra. Okay,
Yeah.
this is exciting. I like this.
So he's deciding which of the two creatures he wants to fight.
3, 2, 3, 4. 4 special 3, 3, and okay,
Yeah.
and they're both worth 2 victory points. So
yeah, neither one of them super easy. So it looks like he's going to fight the Hydra.
The Hydra.
Okay.
Okay, how do we fight him?
Apollo is going to run the Hydra. So since it's a creature that is not controlled by a player, you'll use the tactics deck and you'll draw one card from the tactics deck. And there it is. You'll flip it over and you'll look at the creature type and find that column and then run the combat with that column.
Oh, this is so fun. Okay.
You've also got a combat die so that it is not totally deterministic. It's not totally random.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of both. And so that green D12 that's sitting by the tactics deck will be added to the combat.
Okay, so I see the Hydra is a slash type creature, and then on the slash column we've got 3, 1, 4.
Right. So it's doing 3 is the attack strength.
Mm-hmm.
1 is the defense, so that'll reduce the amount of damage that it takes.
Okay,
and the 4 is the amount of damage.
Okay.
So different creatures have different sort of ranges of combat modifiers. So they're rolling their dice.
Oh, some secret things happening. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So all of the cards. So Zeus is using the lightning bolt as a combat card. So it has 2 attack strength, no defense, and looks like 3 damage. So all the cards are multi-use. All the cards in your hand, your action cards have combat stats on them. So you got to decide whether you're going to use the card for its primary ability or whether you want to hold on to that card for
its effect.
Combat like this. Yeah. So Joe is going to add up, Zeus's player there, he's going to add up his combat strength with his die result and his own hero's ability.
Where's the hero?
So if you go to the side of the god board, there's all those discs along the side. Yeah, those are
okay, here we go.
Stats for your high priestess and your champions.
Okay, so the high priestess is purple and hero is red?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. And so different gods have different starting stats for their heroes and high priestesses. And as you complete quests, those will change. And those in the final product, those will be dials along the side.
Okay.
But this is sort of my my TTS cheat for now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
This is cool. All right. So
what's
this symbol though? Here? That's like a weird symbol. So Zeus's hero probably has some special attack. Is that what that rune means? Because that's not a number I reckon. Oh, is that 6? That's 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So 6 plus 2 from the lightning bolt plus 1 from the die. Are we saying he's got 9 attack right now? Okay, that's gonna crush this Hydra.
Yeah. And so the winner will inflict 1 wound right away.
Okay.
And then whether or not the creature is defeated depends on what the damage and defense results are. So you could win the fight by having the highest attack strength, but still end up dying because you've taken so much damage because you didn't play a card with a high defense.
In a truly heroic fashion, yes.
Right.
Okay, it looks like he defeated it. He's flipped the quest card to the side. Oh no, he doesn't necessarily have to defeat the creature in order to get...
Yeah, once it's defeated, then he'll earn it. So it looks like he defeated it. Oh, he's signaling to his hero. I think he died.
Oh no. Yeah.
But I think it was a mutual defeat.
Okay.
Uh, but that's still enough. Because he completed the quest by killing the Hydra. He was successful, even though he died in the process. So if it's your last hero, it'll respawn in your capital city or your starting city
Okay.
at the beginning of your next turn. If it was an extra one that you had summoned, which was the case here, then yeah, he has an extra hero already out, so he
Okay.
had a second demigod running around, as Zeus does. Often has extra
Yeah.
heroes running
He's
around
got
doing
plans. Is
quests
he,
and
yeah,
things.
he's not like one of the craftiest gods, right? He's just kind of the king of the gods, right? And okay.
Yeah, his ability is pretty straightforward. His
Yeah.
hand size is one larger than normal.
Okay.
What makes him a little more complex to play is like he has to deal with the quests, and each
Got it.
quest has its own like rules and text
Hmm.
to have to deal with, so that increases the complexity of it.
So
Um,
you could be a god and play the whole game out without even trying to complete a quest. It's not a kind of a necessary part of the game. Okay. Nice.
nope, I've seen it happen lots of times where people just there's not enough time to really do everything.
Right. I love
Um,
that.
yeah, so you kind of have to pick and choose. And Apollo's a little more complex too, because they are dealing with the tech trees and the fate cards as well. Like some of their special abilities
Hmm.
deal with manipulating the fates and also discarding cards from hand to learn extra technologies faster. And those technologies give you extra things you can do in your turn, or boost existing actions, or uh, boost your chosen. Um, and so you got that binary choice
Yeah.
in each category as to which one you're going to take for this game.
Yeah.
Um, it's not an overly complex tech tree. It's not
Hmm.
like like a TI4 kind of. You got a deck of cards and you
Yeah. Yeah.
got lots of prerequisites. Well, you need to have one learned in the previous age to get the second age one in
Okay.
that category.
So
But
yeah, you have
that's
to make sure to learn before the age ends, or else you're kind of locked out for the rest of the game on a certain
uh,
tree.
well, no, you can still go back and learn
Oh, okay.
previous ages
Okay.
stuff. You're okay. You don't get locked out, but you
Okay.
do have to make up that ground. Um, but later, when you get more cities and you play the discovery card down,
Hmm.
then you can learn up to three technologies at a time by
Okay.
exhausting all three of your cities, and so you can learn lots of stuff pretty fast.
Nice. We've got Better Half Reviews joining us in the chat. Uh, Andrew, are you going to win? What did you pick for the actual tiebreaker again?
Yeah,
Is there a so victory points decide the victory, right? But is that what Better Half is asking about? Is if there's a tie
yeah,
in victory points? Okay.
yeah. We had a play test earlier, and it was actually like one of the first times that we had come down to a tie,
Oh,
and
nice.
I realized that we didn't actually have a tiebreaker written in the game. So the tiebreaker is most followers,
Okay.
uh, and then so the largest population will break the tie.
Just like in life. Yeah, great. That's cool. And so yeah, let's talk about victory points. Like, so how are we getting victory points? I saw some victory points up here on the prayer board or the main board. Sorry, I'm jumping around here. So we've got some
Yeah,
the achievements. That's how we're
yeah,
getting some of the victory points. And
yeah.
these look like they're the same every game.
Those are
Yep.
set.
Okay.
So you'll have those achievements. Um, you'll have lands are worth one apiece. If you've built a monument on it, they're worth two apiece.
Okay.
So having control of and control just means having the most followers there.
Okay.
You'll gain one for each land that you've constructed. There are victory points available at the end of the tech trees. So if you really focus on the technology, you can gain some victory points that way.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
saw those.
yeah, if you are aggressive and use the war action, you can go up the war victory track, which is also on that sort of that main board,
The main one up here.
just beside the prayers, and you can earn some victory points that way too.
Oh, war victories. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So
Oh,
every time you
that's
win,
some big points if you go all in on war. That you must be having to make some sacrifices in order to focus on war.
Yeah, when you've really got between 7 and 10 turns in a game, and the war action is a major action, so you can only play one major action on a turn.
I see.
You're giving up potentially building a city or a temple or some other big things to
Okay.
do that. So you're hoping that the cost, the opportunity cost of not doing that is worth the victory points that you're going to go up on the track. Plus, you're if you've picked your battle correctly, you're probably denying the other person the points from that land or city or whatever it is you've attacked.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So if you're playing Ares, the god of war,
Of course.
or Athena, you are probably looking at that war victory track. I've seen lots of games where players, are just content to sit back and build their own side of the world and not really interact, and that's fine. I wanted it to be a sandbox type game. I didn't want to force anybody to go down a certain path.
Yeah.
And if there are peaceniks out there,
Yeah.
if Rado wants to play this game, he and Jen can play this fine
Yeah.
without beating on each other too badly.
Ooh, we've got another monster battle. Cyclops. Throw
Yeah, it's like
boulder.
yeah. So you can summon these creatures and control them yourself as well. You can have one summoned at a time, unless you're Artemis, and then you can have two.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And each of the creatures has their own special abilities. And on your turn, you have two activations for your chosen. So your high priestess, your heroes, up to three of them, and your creature. You get to choose two of those to activate on a turn. And so some of the creatures are good for offense, some of them are good for defense, some of them are good for helping build up your economy a little bit. So it sort of depends what your strategy is, what creature you really want to summon. And you have to have a temple built on the creature's habitat for it to be available to you. So if you want to summon the
Mm,
Cyclops, you would have to have a temple built in the mountains.
got it. So what is this battle happening? So who does someone actually own this Cyclops then, or control this
No,
Cyclops? Okay, this is another.
no, yeah, it's another sort of non-player character
Okay.
system fight because they're using the tactics card there. If it was my Cyclops and I was fighting you, I would play the
Oh,
card from
from your
my hand.
hand. I see. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And you only have four cards in your hand at the beginning of your turn. So if you're spending cards
Mm-hmm.
to defend against attacks, when your turn comes around, you've got fewer options in your hand. So you got to decide which cards you're going to use to defend with. If you really wanted to build that temple on your next turn, you're not going to be able to use that temple card, even though it's got a great defensive value.
Okay, we've got 222 versus 222. This hero's got some higher stats than the Cyclops, but the Cyclops looks like it's healing for one with this tactic card.
Yeah, that,
So.
well, those special symbols will come into play in the solo mode.
Oh, solo mode. Okay. Sick. This is very cool. There's so much. There's so much going on. I would just want to be fighting monsters all day. But I do like throwing lightning bolts at followers if they displease me as well. So I'm pumped
Yeah, I
about that.
wanted you to really feel
Yeah.
like a powerful god,
Mm-hmm.
and so that meant some design choices that presented more challenges. So, like you needed to feel powerful because you were God, and you needed to not be on too many rails, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't going to work well if you were playing like Agricola and you're worried about feeding your people all the time. It doesn't make you feel powerful.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make
So
as much food as you want because you're a god.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you want to have these sort of like epic turns. You don't want to be
Yeah.
spending turn after turn just doing one little thing at a
No.
time because
Yeah.
that doesn't feel very godlike, right?
Yeah.
But these big epic turns have a cost, and the cost is downtime for the other player.
Oh, I see.
So,
Okay.
so the way around that is all the core actions have a follow on it. So if I played Build a City card, the follow on that is the other players, all the neighboring gods that are sitting beside me in the table,
Hmm.
can move any number of people from one hex to another hex.
Oh, cool.
Or if I build a temple, the follow on that is, discard a card and move a follower from one of your temples to any land in the world that has a sacred site symbol on it. So it's like they're going on a long range
Oh,
pilgrimage.
nice.
Yeah. So hopefully it means that the intent is that the active player
Hmm.
feels like they are doing really significant things on their turn, playing multiple cards, taking multiple actions, getting lots of stuff done.
Yeah.
But the other players are keeping an eye on what's going on
Oh,
for
yeah.
those follow opportunities. And each god has their own follow as well, their off turn ability. Um, and if you zoom in on Apollo's board there on the top right hand corner, that
Oh, there
top
we go.
right cell, yeah, it'll say what.
That looks like a draw two. Is that what those symbols mean?
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, so I mean, not only that, like, so you got the follow abilities, but also like Apollo is controlling these monsters for Zeus to fight. So you're active in the thing, and it looks like there's a lot to think about too for your next turn. Like you can be thinking about. I mean, you mentioned that there were 7 turns each. Like for 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 such an epic kind of game, 7 turns sounds like not a lot, but I guess there's a lot going on each of those turns.
each of those turns you're playing multiple cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
we experimented with the number of cards played, the cost of the cards, the how many activations of your chosen do you get on a turn to try and get the
Hmm.
right balance between the turn length and the downtime for everyone else.
Nice.
And I think we found the sweet spot.
I wonder. So Joe asked a question that we sort of already covered, but it kind of made me think of something else, which is, do are there certain gods that sort of counter other gods? Like, is there like if someone is playing Ares and they want to go to war with you, is there like a good and you know that you're first? I don't know. Maybe you want to handicap yourself because you're playing against a new player or something like that. Is there like gods that are worse or better against other gods?
I've tried to keep them as balanced as we can, but there are
Okay.
some natural pairings. Like if you were playing Ares, then a good god to play would be Athena, who is the goddess of strategic warfare,
Okay.
whereas Ares is more uh, rage and
Yeah.
bloodthirst, right? Um, and so Athena likes to build lots of cities close knit, tight, and she's got some cards that let her um, react and strategize more when she uses the war card or is
Okay.
subject to the war card.
Nice. Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that there's like if you get a certain matchup, then it's automatic that someone's going to win.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, that's the intent, anyways, and
Yeah.
that's what a good chunk of our playtesting has been is
Yeah.
to like, with this much going on, 13 gods,
Yeah.
all with unique powers and
Very
abilities.
unique. Like that. There's
Um,
a lot of differences between these gods.
yeah, yeah. I want you to feel like you are playing a different god
Yeah.
when you sit down to play.
Sometimes I've noticed these like games that kind of advertise themselves as asymmetrical. Like you've got like one power that differentiates you from another starting thing. Looks like I mean you've got an entire board that differentiates you from everybody else when you're playing with these different gods. I love that. It seems like the replayability is at least 13.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so each god has their own core ability
Uh-huh.
that's different. It has its own way to earn the Olympian achievement, which is one of the achievements on the main board.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's, it's got its own off-turn ability. It has its own start of turn ability.
Yeah.
So Apollo's start of turn ability there is that she can discard, or he can discard 2 cards to learn a new discovery.
Nice. Are the decks different too?
Yeah, so there's the 12 core actions that are
Yeah.
the same
Okay.
for every deck, and then there are 3 cards
Oh,
for each of
okay.
the gods
Cool.
that are unique, to give you a little bit more
Yeah.
flavor.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you think these players are going to ever cross Mount Olympus and sort of try to get into each other's areas, or is that not really what's going to happen in this game?
For these 2 gods, I think as long as Zeus is happy to to continue the quest,
Hmm.
and I see Apollo. They've already made it into. Like she's starting to put out tokens on the third age now. So um, I think they will probably be satisfied to not get in each other's spaces too
Okay,
much.
nice, nice friendly game.
Um, Mount Olympus can be dangerous to leave in the opponent's hands just because of that special unique worker
Yeah.
placement spot there that lets you put a prayer token out. Because like when you answer a prayer, you get a reward, and some of those rewards can be really good, like going up on the morale track. Um, yeah, yeah. So those little squares are each of those where those tokens go is a unique
It's a
reward. Yeah,
reward. I see.
yeah. So letting someone sit there and use that space every other turn can put you in a bind. And there's ways to chain these things together too. So like if one of the let's say your morale track on your god board says when you go up on the morale track you get to add a land, so you go up on your morale one space,
Hmm.
and that land type happens to be
Triggers
one
another
that
thing. Okay, yeah,
people are wanting, like say another coastland. You
yeah,
lay the coastland, so then you trigger another prayer. The prayer
yeah.
says one of the other things is like go up on the morale track, so you go up on the morale track, and that says answer a prayer. So you can like, if you're keeping an eye on things, you can chain a bunch of stuff together.
I don't. Oh, I see. Okay. Why isn't Zeus getting completing these prayers? Like I've seen him complete two quests. I've seen him defeat creatures, and he doesn't have any tokens on these prayers. Am I missing something here?
Yeah, I would think the knowledge one should be finished now too, with the number of
Yeah,
knowledge things that are out there.
land discovery, right? Unless they're okay. Here's one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
We've been
they are
removing.
getting
Sorry, just to let you know, we're just in the middle of finishing the turn and hadn't finished putting all the tokens out just yet.
Oh, okay.
right. Okay, so they're
Nice.
in the middle of it there. Yeah,
Okay.
so that one will be completed, and they'll add another one, and I think the quest one just came out.
Got it. Okay.
The leadership one is already complete.
Nice.
Yeah,
So age
so
two, they haven't built any. So let's see, build a city, build a temple, build a monument are the ways to advance in the ages. Looks like
yeah,
none of that has happened so far in age two.
yeah. There's usually a little spurt at the beginning when people build their first
Okay.
temples and first cities, then your population has to grow a little bit
Okay.
to get enough people to build that next city, because you need 5 followers on one hex qualified to build a new city.
Okay.
And then when you build the city, you remove 3 of those followers. So it sets you back a little bit in population,
Mm-hmm.
but it gives you the opportunity to spend that city as a resource to power your cards.
Oh, they're drawing all sorts of cards now. This is exciting.
Yeah, let's get some fate cards going there.
Play to your tableau.
She's got 3 fate cards. Yep, irrigation, architect. Yep. So because Apollo is running through that, because Apollo is his major city was Delphi, where the Oracle sat that was supposed to be able to predict the future, right?
Oh, okay.
So Apollo is going hard on the those fate cards and building out her tableau with additional ways to score victory points, additional powers, um, whereas Zeus is focused on the quests.
Mm-hmm.
I see Apollo has one quest that he's working on, uh, not finished yet.
Envoy. Activate your hero while adjacent to one or more rival cities. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna be because this isn't a hero. That's the high priestess. So
Mhm.
she's got to get this hero up into Zeus's face and then activate it.
Yeah, I mean there are ways to move around the board more quickly.
Okay.
All the coastlands are considered adjacent to one another.
Oh.
So you are
So
sailing from one part of the world to the other part of the world.
okay.
So So you can move, like each player in the sort of starting set of tiles has one coastland, so you can move into each other's territories, on their first turn if you
I
really wanted
see.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all Apollo has to do, move the hero over 1. Is there a city in the opposing coastland? There is not.
Yeah. So she would have to move
She'd have to move
into the
even.
coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's still got a little bit of movement to do, and there's no city up front either. Okay. It looks like to me though that Apollo has an early lead. If I'm like kind of reading the board right, she's already got Wise. She's already got the Olympian reward. She's way up there in the tech tree.
Yeah. She's definitely doing well.
Okay.
Zeus has got 3 quests, 2 complete and 1 left that he's working on.
Uh-huh.
So when he completes his 3rd quest, he will earn one of his
Is that his Olympian thing? No.
his
That's
Olympian
your...
achievement is to get all 3 of his heroes out
Okay.
at once. And I can't quite see how many he's got out right now. Come up here.
Just 1?
Yeah, he just has 1 out right now.
Because 1 died fighting a Hydra.
I think he's had some losses. Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to find some easier prey. Oh, there's one. Okay.
As he completes these quests, right, his heroes are getting stronger as they pick up the rewards.
Yeah.
Which makes it more likely that he'll be successful in future quests, which sort of creates the snowball effect.
Nice.
Whereas you might die the first couple of times, but once you're successful,
Okay, here we go. Let's go, Zeus.
Yeah. So Zeus is doing a big population move there, and each hex can only hold 6 mortals at a time. There's sort of like a carrying capacity of the land.
Overpopulation. I saw that rule in there.
Yeah. So when a land gets overpopulated, all colors remove 1 until you get under 6.
Got it.
So he lost 1, and a neutral mortal also perished.
Okay.
But now he's got control of Mount Olympus.
Yeah, he does.
And so there's heroes from 2 opposing factions on the same hex, and the players will decide whether or not they're going to duel. They don't have to; they can peacefully coexist if they want to.
Zeus is going to choose to duel, right? Zeus wants to duel.
There's nothing forcing them to fight.
Zeus has got this big buffed hero, and all we've got is a priestess here. I guess she might have some spells that she can ask Apollo for help or something.
Well, you don't know what they've got in their hands, too,
I see.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
So some of it is the luck from the die, but a lot of it is the cards, right?
Ooh, Better Half Reviews has a good question. So what's like kind of the standard, like what's a typical like end game victory point score? Like what's a victory point score to like aim for that's gonna like win you the game or like make you feel safe?
Yeah, most games are in the 30 to 40 range.
Okay.
I have seen I think 56 is the highest.
56.
Yeah.
30 to 40. So we've got 10 achievements worth 3 each. So you're getting a lot of victory points from your lands and your cities and stuff as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I just go into the I can't interact. Things are in gray, right? Inside the game box there's a score pad. But if you flip over Pat's or Apollo's starting card there, right here.
Which one?
It's got right there. Just flip that one over with the F key there.
The god itself?
No, the start card right here. Yep, perfect.
This one.
Yep.
Discovery.
Yep,
okay.
Yeah. So there's all of
okay.
victory points. Yeah.
The achievements, land with monument, other land controlled, completed quests. Oh, I didn't see victory points on these. They have question mark victory points. What does that mean?
So when you were fighting a creature, the number of victory points is the toughness of the creature. So if you grab some tokens to represent the victory points for those.
There's a Cyclops and a Hydra, both worth 2 victory points each. So Zeus has got that somewhere. locked in. What else we got here? Discoveries. Yep, for the third tier discoveries. Fake cards have some victory points. Oh, that's a quest.
Yep.
Okay, I see. Yep.
Yeah. So like that irrigation card.
Each plains land you control gains one of your followers. At the end of the game, score 1 victory point per plains you control. All right, got 2 victory points sitting there right now.
Yep.
Other VP, and then we've got an other. Okay, yeah. a lot of ways to win.
I see Troy here has been built by Zeus, but looks like Apollo's high priestess, because she has learned the very dangerous ascendant third tier discovery, just converted 3 of Zeus's followers.
Oh no, that's gonna. Followers. Oh, he already got the colony quest. Okay, though. All right.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, he completed the quest, but the city is up for grabs now. If
oh, okay.
If Apollo gets 1 more follower in there. Oh no, she's already got more followers. She's got 3 followers. Zeus has 2, so Troy now becomes Apollo City.
Wow. And Ascendant. Convert rival followers as though they are neutral followers. Sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So you're dangerous to let her Apollo's high priestess run around at this stage.
Zeus should have dueled her.
Some overpopulation going on. Yeah. They've grabbed that.
Oh my gosh.
So she moved her Apollo moved her hero into the land and dragged population with him. So you can't just move the people on your own, but your heroes have the ability to persuade the populations to move about the map.
Yeah.
As one of their powers. So yeah, Apollo definitely exerted some control here and has taken Mount Olympus.
When can we play this? When can we play like a physical copy of this? What's the plan there?
So I want to have discussions with publishers and see if anyone is interested in that route.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, I think we'll be prepared to go to Kickstarter Q1 of 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes a while. Like the game looks kind of like good to go, but like you got to get all your ducks in a row with manufacturing and all that.
It's doing things like today where we are trying to reach a broader audience and make people aware of it.
Yeah.
As you know, the games that are successful on Kickstarter have a good following to start, and so that's what we need to work on this year.
Yeah.
I think
games like this especially have a little bit of an uphill battle. I feel like because I looking at the Kickstarter things, like the top 10 Kickstarter games, well, except for the Gloomhaven one, but are all like kind of party games / casual games. You've got sort of a more targeted audience with this, so you've got to reach the right people, right? And that's going to be a trick. Yeah. But I think those people are going to love it.
if I can find those people, exactly. I think that they will like. Yeah, exactly. And games are just like movies and books. People have their favorite genres, and they will try and seek those out. And so we just need to get in front of people and let them know about the game. We got a little bit of polishing left to do, some blind play testing on the manual. And then it'll be available on Tabletop Simulator. We had an earlier version, sort of the beta version. We call this one Gamma. Of course, I started as a naming convention because it was Greek, but then COVID came along.
I know that it's like, okay, let's not do Delta.
This is my Delta version. Yeah. Turned out that's a great idea, but this is the sort of third major iteration.
Okay.
Lots of little iterations in between, but I mean, this game used to be a worker placement game when it originally was conceived.
Okay.
And then the problem with the worker placement was that if you were a god, why are you being hemmed in by what other gods are doing? Like, why can't you also build a land at the same time?
I see.
Yeah. So that's when we sort of reworked to the game to be card driven. And then we had another iteration where there was a lot of complex tracking to do with your resources, how many lands you had. Each different kind of land had different kind of quantities of resources, and that just became a bookkeeping nightmare. So we've really simplified it down to just the two resources now: the temples and the cities.
Yeah.
And there's only a few of them. You flip them over when they spend them. You flip them back at the beginning of your turn. Easy peasy. And then you don't get sort of caught up in all the details of trying to run an economy in a game that's supposed to make you feel godlike, not not so much just a game.
That said, though, there is a lot going on each of these land tiles. What are the like attack, defense, and life?
The first symbol is your population growth rate.
Okay.
That if you build a city there, and you'll see the city icon, that's sort of the village site icon in the corner, the right hand corner there.
Okay.
That lets you know that it's possible to build a city on that land.
Got it.
And then if you build the city, it'll grow 1 every turn in the forest. If you go to war, you will get +2 strength.
Oh, okay.
If you're defending that land, or if you are attacking from that land, you'll get +2 to your combat strength.
Okay.
And it'll also have 1 defense. So the plains are great for population growth. They have 2 population growth, but they're miserable at combat.
I see. Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. I love like the little flavor things that you just thought of. Like, it just like makes everything kind of, it just does what you'd think it would do. Attack from the trees, get that advantage.
Yeah, and if you attack from the hills or the mountains, your defense is really high. If you attack from the hills, your combat values are really high.
Yeah.
So there's some strategy as to like how you approach your opponent's terrain. Maybe it makes sense to take 1 tile before a different tile just to get those advantages in the next war.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
How long?
So I've been working on this game for like a decade.
That's exactly what I was just going to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, with some breaks here and there.
Yeah.
Sort of have been hard at it for the last couple of years.
Okay. Yeah.
Revising, iterating, improving the graphic design, and improving the art. Trying to differentiate the gods just a little bit more, simplify where we can, streamline.
Yeah. What's the team like? What's the team look like for this project?
So the sculpting is done by a gentleman in Brazil who I met online and who did the sculpts for all the creatures and the high priestess and the heroes. So that's Theron. He did a really great job, and I'm super happy with how the models turned out. The 2 players that you are that are playing today are sort of my most common playtesters / developers.
Okay.
And we've been friends for decades.
Nice.
2 decades for one and a decade for the other. So we know each other pretty well. And
okay, so who's your best friend of the 2 players? Who are you rooting for right now?
I don't want to say it. I think that would be bad. So that's sort of the core, and I've done the graphic design, the art, and the rule book, and all the writing and rules and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's a pretty small team. COVID didn't help with
exactly
trying to get physical play tests, and then the shipping crisis. We were just like, well, maybe we can just spend this year polishing a bit more and getting the word out more, and take the foot off the gas a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, Gencon, fingers crossed, but I think Gencon is going to be almost back to normal, right? We can get some hands on the game there. I like what you've done with the first, like the new player experience. You've got the tutorial sort of set up in the rulebook where you're kind of walking through new players like 1 step at a time. That's I think that's a big part of I mean, that's going to be a big hurdle for a game like this, right? Is to make sure people can figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. And I had hired out Player Layer
Oh,
to do some play testing for
nice.
me, and that was one of their feedbacks was that the initial teach
Yeah,
there were a lot of rules to absorb on your first play,
yeah,
and so the tutorial manual was designed to just start with the core stuff, and then every age you add a few more rules and
yeah.
concepts.
I like that. I like that. Right. So yeah, age one, you're not worrying about fate cards or whatever. You're worrying about or
Yeah,
not.
just worried with the basics like
Yep.
moving people around. What do your champions do?
Yeah.
Like your chosen, and what all the symbols on the land tiles and things
Yeah.
like that. There's a pretty good rules reference, I think,
Okay.
reference card that explains all the symbology, and on the back is the rules for duels and wars.
I see. Here we are. Yeah, land types. We've got there's all the icons. Learn the discovery. Move some followers around. Gain some followers. Draw a card. Discard a card. A lot going on. It's great though. Like a lot to wound health. Yeah. So it's going to be different every time you play.
Yeah,
So Zeus. I have a question about Zeus's heroes. So his hero that fought that Hydra died while fighting it. So does the rewards that hero get, does that like transfer to that hero's daughter or whatever who's taking up the sword? Like,
yeah.
okay,
We're not tracking equipment for each
okay,
hero. It's
okay,
sort of a more generalized.
okay.
Your
That's good.
heroes are more powerful. Yeah,
I love that too. Like I like it's not necessarily maybe part of the god genre, but the kind of like civilizations through generations sort of genre of like you know your great ancestor has fought a hydra and therefore like all future generations are stronger through the passing down of the hydra slayer or whatever. um
yeah, yeah. And I like to think of like each turn being sort of like a generation in time
okay,
has
I like
passed.
that.
Yeah. Um, and you can keep your heroes and your high priestess because they are probably demigods and they're
Oh,
longer
that's
longer
okay.
lives. That's the
Yeah,
story reason for it. Um, yeah,
yeah,
I don't want you to think about these followers as like armies on the board. They are like basically a measure of the population in that area. Like each figure could be
yeah,
worth a few thousand people.
sure. And these are the people that are like kind of praying to you, right? The color, like
Yeah,
the green people are praying to Apollo.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You see, at the end of Zeus's turn, there he rolled the mortal die. That's that big black die,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone has to do what it says. And in this instance, it says coasts. So the mortal population will grow on coasts, or they can move from an adjacent land to a coast. And if you have a legal play, you have to make it. So the mortals will sort of do their own thing a little bit
That's awesome.
uh, on their own.
Population is growing in all these places.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's see. So we've got enough population to start building some cities elsewhere. There's no city yet on this tile, and it can hold one. There's no city on this tile, and it can hold one.
yeah. So I mean, it's still a card game. You have to
Sure.
draw the card.
Oh, I
Uh,
see. That's the bit. Okay. Yep.
there are two bless cards in the deck as well, and a bless card is kind of like a wild card. It
Okay.
lets you go and root through your discards or your draw deck and find the card that you want to find. Um, and we added those bless cards in there to kind of mitigate some of the luck in the draw in your deck. Like
I see. Yeah.
if your Guild City card is in the bottom of a 16 card deck and you're
Mm-hmm.
drawing four at a time, unless you are doing things to give yourself extra card draw,
Mm-hmm.
like one of the um, land abilities will let you draw extra cards. So it looks like they've just entered age 3. They are resetting the fates
They're
variables.
blistering through this game. Last I saw, they were just at the beginning of age 2, and now
Yep,
here we are, last age.
yep. last stage. So we've got yellow. Zeus has added 1, 2, 3, 4 achievements since the last time we checked in on the board. So he's definitely catching up.
Okay, here we
here.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's increased his morale to max. This guy's 4 temples and 4 cities built.
Wow. After Apollo took over Olympus, I was thinking Zeus was in trouble, but he's got morale.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing to play with here. That's great.
Yeah, so each god has their own morale track on the board. Different benefits. If you go towards, so you start in the middle of the track, and you can go towards feared or revered on the board. And the direction you choose will give you different rewards. So if you go towards revered on the morale track, like Apollo is on the second step,
Yeah.
the next space she goes up, she'll be able to draw another fate card. And if you get to the end, you get the achievement. Each space is also worth 1 victory point on its own. So if you make not all the way to the end, you'll still get some victory points for increasing your morale.
And the tracks are different too. Oh my gosh, the gods are different in every way. So like Zeus, if he goes the feared route, it looks like he gets a monster. Is that what he gets out of monster on the second step of that? Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, if you don't have a creature summoned already, then you'll summon a creature.
Love it.
And if he goes towards the revered side, Zeus will get extra hero activations so they can complete their quests easier, complete some prayers, and add some land.
I haven't played this yet. I think my favorite god, I have to look through all the gods, but I think I'm obsessed with having monsters under my control. So there's a god that can have 2 monsters at once.
Yeah, Artemis. The goddess of the hunt.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's sort of her focus in the game is the creatures, manipulating the creatures, hunting the creatures. Her chosen can be used to inflict damage on creatures in adjacent lands, for example. So they're like kind of hunting the creatures. They can stalk it till it dies.
Amazing.
Yeah, the cards she has in her hands, her cards can make her creatures more powerful if the moon is waning, and if it's waxing, then her temples become more powerful because she's also the goddess of the moon.
Where's the moon? So is the moon only in play when Artemis is one of the gods, or is the moon always after? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can root through the game box there. If you can search inside the game box,
we need to go looking through that stuff.
All the gods are in there.
Okay, now we've got 4 prayers. Age 3, 4 prayers.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll probably start seeing some monuments built. So that's like a nice end game thing is to get those monuments in and start doubling up your points that you're going to get on your lands that you've built. Now the follow action on a build monument is that the opposing players get to add one of their followers to a land adjacent to that monument. And the monuments go on the vertex between 3 lands. So by building 1 monument, you get 3 victory points, basically, because each of those 3 lands that the monument touches gets an extra victory point.
Okay, that's big then for this.
Yep. But you got to be able to sustain all that tourism that you're going to get. It's just so attractive that you've built this monument that the other gods their followers start to come and investigate.
Yeah. I want to look at this tech tree again from Apollo. Is there ways that she can abuse all this stuff here? This is now his end game here. We're looking for victory points.
Yeah.
We're looking for swingy plays.
Yeah. So it'll be good. She's like 1 away from university, which allows you to get 1 other discovery, which could be used to get 3 extra victory points. She's 1 discovery away from getting the 3 victory points from the religion spot. So I mean that's 6 points right there. That's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah.
Then I've seen lots of games where the tech tree, maybe they get 2 or 3, but they don't focus on it enough to get up there. Like Zeus here, he's only got 2. didn't focus on it,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel like you've got to build everything in the game to be successful. I want you to be able to choose a certain
Hmm.
path, pursue it, and I just want to make sure that they are um, relatively well balanced.
Yep. He's got his heroes trained up, +2 attack. He's got roads. Okay. And he stops there. Usually, I'm a tech tree to kind of player. I want to max that out. Apollo is awfully attractive to me as well. There's just so
Yeah,
much to do, though. You're right that you don't have time to do it
that's
all. You
right.
got to like kind of pick and choose where you want to get your victory points.
Yep.
And I guess it matters who you're playing against, right? Too. Like if you're playing against certain champion, like certain gods are going to have different strengths and weaknesses, right? And you can, like once you're really deep in the game and know all the gods' strengths and weaknesses, right? Are you trying to play around, try to exploit the things they're not as good at?
Yeah, and in the non-tutorial game, so the regular game, the players draw two and choose one secretly, and then reveal to
Okay.
try and mitigate some of that metagaming that an advanced player might have over somebody else.
Yeah.
But like I said, I tried to make them equally powered. But your experience playing Apollo versus Zeus is going to be very different
Sure.
with your experience playing against Ares or
Yeah.
even somebody like Poseidon who can move on his turn. He can move those coastlands around the world wherever he wants. So you can suddenly find yourself right next to a coast full of enemies ready to march into your territory and take possession
Wow.
of
Yeah.
Hephaestus, the god of fire and volcanoes. I mean, he can um, wipe everything off of land, including your temple, if he wants to. So
There you go, Joe. There's your god. Joe was just saying he wanted to play with some. He wanted to make some volcanoes. I
yeah, Hephaestus has a card in his hand called Volcano, so that would be your guy.
There you go. And
Yep.
I haven't seen a lightning bolt. I did see the lightning bolt card out of Zeus. He used it to fight one of the monsters, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, in each of the cities, there's 18 cities in the game. They all have unique abilities as well.
Oh my
So
goodness.
when you build a city, you will take its card, put it on top of your draw deck, and you'll be able to play it for its special ability, usually by exhausting that city. Or you can discard it for a quick population boost if you're finding yourself in need of people. So that's always an option for you as a discard action. And they can be used in combat as well.
Jeez. Yeah. Okay. Troy. Wasn't Troy the one that they were like defending, right? Shouldn't that have higher defense?
Sorry, guys, I just want to clarify if there's a tie for attack, is it defender or attacker that wins?
Attacker wins the tie. Yeah. Oh, I think they're doing a war action here. As Zeus
Oh, I'm
plays the
excited about that.
Zeus
War. Here we go.
just plays the war.
Where is he fighting? Where is he attacking? Oh, the coasts. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's going after Olympus.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
With just this one.
Actually,
Yeah.
no. What I had played was I had played a Sac City as though I had played a war action, and I am currently attacking Rogue
Oh, okay.
from
Okay.
Troy.
Yeah, you can tell us what you guys are doing.
Yeah. We're sorry. Yeah, I know. We're just in our own little world talking about.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. This is exciting.
So I'm doing.
I think you cut it there, Joe. Oh, it was an idea.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you guys wanted us to keep talking.
Yeah. No. Talk us through this. So, okay. So I saw some followers die. Yeah.
Yeah, so we both tied on the attack, and he took some damage, and I'm going to die. I do 4 damage.
I have to withdraw.
You have to withdraw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the loser in a war has to withdraw and take casualties. The winner controls the land, but depending on what cards they play, they could be wiped out if they didn't have enough defense.
Okay. So you lose 2 of your guns.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a bloody battle.
And you can choose.
Really, it's all about the points.
So are you taking over roads, I'm assuming?
No, I just wanted the war points. I can't take over roads.
Okay, so I don't give you my card.
I believe you still have control,
Yes. So
right? I can't.
Correct.
I didn't go in with a hero.
That's all I want to know.
Okay. Where's this war point? Oh, war victories. There we go. 2 points. 2 points.
Yeah, and it starts to accelerate.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know if
You are
any of these
pouring.
players are set up to really capitalize on like finishing out the age with just all war to like maximize those points, but you know, little chip points here and there might do some good.
And it's, I mean, the war card is like any other card. It goes into your discard, and
Oh,
you got to
sure.
get it
So
back
they
out
really,
again,
yeah.
right? So, I mean, if you want to spend your bless actions to get that war card back into your hand, you can. If you're playing Ares, you can use your High Priestess to get that
Okay.
war card back into your hand.
Yeah.
So it's available for you to spend.
So yeah. So first war victory 2 points, second war victory 2 points. You start getting extra value for that third victory. But yeah, I think it seems like you might have to kind of specialize in that a little bit to get there.
Yeah, and there's the Conqueror achievement, which is win a war against a rival city. That gives you 3 points right off the top.
Win a war against a rival city. Didn't Apollo just win that war? Oh, convert a neutral mortal into a follower. Taking the whatever that reward means. I'm gonna have to.
She's taking another priest activation, which
okay.
probably means she will convert whatever else around.
Oh, so it's a big conversion. Oh, maybe she is in a position to keep warring then if she's converting that many followers.
Yeah, it's like a 6-point swing when you think about followers.
And the followers are the ones doing the fighting for you, right? I mean, your heroes are fighting, but also.
Yeah.
Oh, so can the heroes join the war, or is it heroes? Okay.
Yeah. So the war is calculated like every bit of thing on the tile you're attacking from counts as 1. So if you've got a city, a temple, a hero, and 3 guys, that's 6 points.
Oh, so the hero's not just dominating. Okay.
Yeah, that's your attack strength is 6. Then you would add the value of the land that you're attacking from, and then your combat die and a card. So you're adding those 4 things together. You got the size of your army, you got the terrain you're fighting on, you got the tactics from your card, and you got a little bit of luck in the die.
Okay.
So those 4 elements will determine who wins a war. But it's only 1 round. You do 1 sort of calculation, and then all the casualties and the positioning occur after that. So there's not round after round of like attrition. It's 1 and done.
Nice. I like that. Is there like a Hercules hero that can just win a like war by himself, or are we not getting it? Once you're in a war, it's just a hero is worth 1 soldier basically. Okay.
That's right.
They're monster slayers. They're not war. They're not. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. That's right. That's the way I kind of thought. Like if your heroes are your questers, they go out and they help manipulate the population on the board by moving them around.
Okay.
But
they still only have 1 sword at the end of the day.
That's right.
Okay.
They're great on 1-to-1. They're great on like helping control the board.
Okay.
Because if somebody else wants to move followers into that land, they've got to move that hero in first.
Right.
And if a hero comes into your land with your hero, you can choose to duel. So you want to hopefully be in a position where you think you're going to win that war by cards in your hand. I don't think you want to be counting on just the dice, but sometimes if it's worth your while, you might risk it.
Because I see Zeus has the hero advantage, right? His heroes have what do we got here? 5 health and 4 speed versus the only 4 and 3 here on Apollo's side.
Yeah, he's found the Atlas, which gives your heroes extra speed, which makes them really fast because they
Yeah.
were already one faster than
Yeah.
normal already. And they've got extra defense.
Yep.
And then the Lodestone, it's a great way to get extra value out of your temples and cities.
High Priestess. Okay.
Yeah, so you can spend a bunch of your cities and temples to power your actions, and then use your priestess to bring all that back and make it available for another play.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, their High Priestesses have the same stat lines, but Zeus has some lodestones to work with, as opposed to... This is a completed quest over here. What do we got? The Envoy. All lands have a speed cost of 1 for your heroes. Okay, so the heroes can move through tougher terrain.
Yeah, fast.
Fast.
Real
I like
fast.
that. Okay. So they're both pretty mobile. They both players have mobile heroes. They can be bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, and each land has a speed cost that's in the corner of the left of the tile. That's how many speed points it takes to move into that land normally.
I see. Yeah. 2, 1, 2. And Olympus 3. Yeah. Oh, is this some death here? Is this some death happening? Nope, it's some movement. Oh my gosh. Looks like Mount Olympus is going to see some blood run. Or maybe just some heavy prayer. Because this is a game where you can have followers of both gods on the same space, and not necessarily, it doesn't always have to result in bloodshed.
Nope. It's overpopulation there.
Overpopulation, no big deal. I mean, sure, there were some blights and famines involved, but we don't have to get into the details on that. I'm sure some people lived a, fully healthy life during that generation.
Yeah, so the heroes are peacefully coexisting.
Yeah.
But people are starving all around them.
Love it. The flavor. Let's talk about the flavor of this game too. I mean, I'm loving like the little stories that kind of pop up that you can tell yourself is happening while these different effects are happening. But like, we're talking about what Greek gods, right? Is that sort of the theme we're looking at here?
Looks like they're dueling here.
Ooh, a duel.
On top of Mount Olympus, they both rolled their die. Zeus has got some extra damage. Apollo's got extra swords. Zeus has played Ambrosia, Fate card, as a combat card for 2 strength, plus the 2 swords is 4. And their base stat for her hero is 6. So that's 10.
That sounds like death.
We got 3 from the land card used. Lost the course 6 for 2, so that's 9. So it looks like Zeus lost and took 1 wound off the top. So the loser takes 1 wound to start. Then you calculate the rest of the damage. So Ambrosia does no other damage. That'll be it. But also has 5 defense. So
yeah, that's big.
I don't think land does 2 wounds. You got 1 from the dice. It's 3. 3 is no higher than 5, so that chosen doesn't lose. But the loser must return to their nearest city. So the combat doesn't have to go to the death. It's more about area control.
Got it.
And so there he goes. He's retreating to Athens.
And he can heal up there. We don't have to keep track of how many wounds he's taken, or does those?
No, the wounds will travel with him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There are some lands that have sort of the Red Cross plus sign on it that'll let you heal. Also Apollo's, because Apollo is the god of healing. One of their activation actions is heal a wound. So they can spend their activation rather than doing one of these other things just to start remove damage.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, Apollo's also got a card unique to him that lets him heal wounds as long as the person is still alive, and that can be used for anybody.
Yeah.
In a like 3 or 4 player game, when someone plays the war action, the follow on the war action is the other players can play a card face down,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
and can contribute to one side or the other, and they don't have to say what side they're going to support when they put that card down. So the other players might try to negotiate something for some support. Then when they go to resolve, the other player flips that card over
Yeah.
and then picks one of those combat values and assigns it to one of the other players.
And I saw this game kind of it's modular, right? Like a little bit like in a 3-player game, you're all coming out. It's a hex, so you're all coming out on the 3 different sides, not exactly opposite each other. In a 4-player game, I saw you've kind of got a close neighbor in that 2 of you are attached to Mount Olympus in adjacent tiles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets a little tighter.
Okay.
And my plan is to package it as a 4-player game, a 1 to 4 player game in the core box, and then a 5 and 6 player expansion.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
if you wanted to go truly epic and have a 5 or 6 player game,
Nice.
then I want to make that possible. Because some of my favorite memories are those big epic all day TI4 games, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
They're the kind of game that you schedule 2 months in advance with half a dozen people. You organize food. You rent a space maybe because no one's got a house big enough to hold it. And then you spend the day and you see who is the most glorious emperor.
Yes, who's the best god? Joe is asking if you've put any thought into introducing gods not from different mythologies. Is that in your head at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's expansion territory.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Well, one thing at a time. Let's hook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's why the title is Mythika, the Olympians.
Oh my gosh, I see.
Maybe
now.
the next one will be Mythika, the Aztecs, or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. You've got to find those
Yeah.
those ones
But
with all the rich god lore.
When I went to university way back in the day, I did a classical archaeology degree.
Oh, okay.
So I've had a long love of mythology and
Nice.
the ancient world.
Yeah.
So I was most familiar with this mythology. So
Mhm.
that's one of the reasons why it's themed this way.
Nice. All right. Well, we're approaching our 90-minute mark. Do you think we're going to finish this age 3? I don't.
I don't think so.
It might be. Darn.
If you want to have a few minutes to chat with the other players and sort of get some insights as to what their strategy was for
yeah, exactly. Or we could kind of a mid-game. You guys can finish it out, but we have to wrap up the stream. But I'm curious to hear from the players who they think is going to win, and well, without spoiling too much, maybe what their plans are to finish the game out.
Well, I'm trying to put up a valiant effort against Zeus by way of my tech aspirations and combat, but I suspect he might eke out the win. That's Joe's reputation in our group.
So Zeus has got a lot of points I see on the board there, on the achievements board.
Right. My tendency is to try for points early because the quicker you get them, the more points they're worth relative to somebody who follows later on with the same achievement. It doesn't always work out, but in this game it is.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I mean, probably by the end of the game, we'll have some monuments. Those will be some points, but just this lead that Zeus has right now is maybe enough to carry you through the game.
You also have to consider hidden objectives, which are more to do with terrain types and orientations, which I'm kind of ignoring to make these early games. So it might be to my detriment.
Okay, maybe Apollo's got something hidden.
I'm just about to convert 2 of your guys to neutrals through my last fate card that I played. So through unbelievers. And then let's go shift here. And I'm going to proselytize. 2, 3.
Okay, Zeus is losing his believers.
Yeah. Maybe you can pan over to their hands and take a look at their secret objectives.
Okay, yeah, good call. All right, we got Zeus here. I won't say it out loud, but we can all, let's see, secret. Okay, those are these sideways ones, right?
That's right.
Okay. All right, so let's see.
So you can see maybe why he's going for that centerpiece.
I see some. Okay.
Yeah, so not
some potential points there, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we got over here? Slowly drag over like someone who's never used Tabletop Simulator before, and we got Paulo's options.
Okay.
Yep. So
I too will build the monument.
Here's the monuments that come out. So monuments get more expensive as they get built. So the first one out just costs 1 city. The second one's going to cost 2 cities. The third one's going to cost 3 cities. So they start. If you don't get in the monument game early, you could find yourself, if you don't have the cities available to you, they might be too expensive for you to build by the time.
Well, 2 is sort of the magic number, though, right, for the monumental achievement. So that second monument's going to be worth not only the 3 points for the lands it's touching, but 3 extra points. You can get a lot of victory points there if you can keep the other person off of the monuments, maybe?
It does paint a bit of a target on those, because it doesn't matter who builds the monument. It's the points go to, at the end of the game, to who controls that land.
Oh, okay.
My hero's got one more activation. Let's duke it out.
Here we go. Another duel.
Let me just walk us through the duel.
Yeah, let's see one last duel here to wrap up this.
So we're both gonna choose some cards to play, and then we'll roll dice. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, RNGesus doesn't like me. All right, Flipper. All right, so 7 attack. Let's see how lucky I get.
11 attack.
Oh, I got a wound. Big. All right, that's 1. How much damage?
It's looking like just 2.
Okay, so I have 2 defense from my base defense. No, 1. So I'll take 1 damage, but you will take 4 wounds.
Okay, catastrophe is that's a nice stat line. You're not worrying about the attack or defense, but just melting.
So you, as the user of the fight,
the combat system is definitely inspired by Kemet. So if you like that combat system, then this will be familiar to you.
I like
All
it.
right.
Yeah, you don't have the same ability to track, what cards your opponent has used, because there are just too many cards in the deck.
You can attack with your priest.
You can opt to go all offense and no defense, or all defense and no offense, or a mix, and hope for the best.
Yeah, tracking. Yeah, that might be tracking the wounds on the board with everything else. I guess it's okay. Just put the puddles of blood next to the hero. There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean the heroes are the ones that are tricky if you've got multiple heroes. If you've only got the one hero out, you can just put a pile beside your board.
Sure. Yeah.
Beside your hero. You've only got one high priestess, so that's fine.
Okay.
And the creatures, they're unique, so you can just put the wounds on top
of the card.
On the creature card. So it's really the heroes. If you've got multiple heroes, where it becomes a problem.
Okay. That's not. Yeah. That's easy enough. They're probably not going to be. Yeah, you can keep track. Nice. Well, thank you so much for showing us this game. I'm certainly interested in seeing. I'm in love with the different gods, and I want to play all the different gods, and I want to control all the monsters, and just send them to your forests and plains and just demolish all of your followers. And I just love the stories that will unfold as the game unfolds. And I probably, when I play this, I might not do the optimal plays. I think I'm going to just do the things that sound the coolest.
That's fine. It's fine. It's a sandbox game.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you can do that. There's some guidance, but yeah, I wanted to make it free from constraints, I guess, to really make you feel like you're a god.
Exactly. I think I might even have a chance in a 3 or 4 player game, right? I while I'm doing the silly things, maybe the other 2 players will attack each other and leave me alone, and then I can sneak a victory.
Yeah, you can always negotiate.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, looking forward to checking this out when it, in Q1 of 2023, and Joe drops some links, and we'll put some links in maybe in the YouTube description as well for people that want to, check out the game. Coming soon as a public thing on Tabletop Simulator for people to play. So everyone, please check it out, and thank you to Andrew, thank you to your team for joining us today, and we'll look forward to seeing this in game stores someday.
I hope so. Yeah, thanks very much for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.